Hi everyone, in this video we will talk about how to solve a separable differential equation in Maple. Our problem states, solve the initial value problem dp dh equals k times p, where k is a constant. At h equals 0 kilometers, p equals 1,013 millibars, and at h equals 20 kilometers, p equals 90 millibars. So to start off with this problem, I want to separate the variables. To work in Maple and write mathematical equations, I want to go up to the top and click on Math Mode. So my separable equation, let me just get a larger font here, is dp dh equals k times p. Once I've typed in and want to go to the next line, I need to click on the text, hit enter, and now I can go back into math mode. To separate the variables, I'm going to have 1 divided by p, dp on the left-hand side, and k dh on the right-hand side. Next, I want to integrate both sides. Along the left-hand side of the screen, there is the expression palette, and you can open and close that palette. I'm going to scroll down here to the integral sign, and I don't want f and dx, but I do want 1 divided by p, dp, and then on the right-hand side, I want k dh. Let me just make this font size a little bit bigger so that it can be viewed easily in the videos. Okay, on the left-hand side, I want the natural log of the absolute value of p. On the right-hand side, I want k times h. Now, technically, I have a constant of integration on both sides, so I could include a C1 and a C2, but I could just combine those two constants of integration into one big constant of integration, which I will call capital C. Furthermore, if we assume that p is always greater than 0, I can drop the absolute value sign and write natural log of p without the absolute values equals k times h plus c. So I'll just go up here and I will copy and paste that below. Save me a little time. Okay, next what we want to do is we want to solve for p as a function of h. So to undo or do the inverse operation of the natural log, I need to exponentiate both sides of the equation, and my base is going to be e. And the e is over here on Common Symbols tab. So I'm in math mode. I can hit my superscript key and type natural log of p. And on the right-hand side, again, I have e to the power kh plus c. Now that's a bit awkward, so if we use our rules of exponents, I can write this in a better form. So instead of addition up there in the exponents, I can use my properties of exponents to say this is times e to the c. And we could rename this e to the c as something different. We could say let e to the c equal a or l. I'm going to call it p naught because it is our initial value. And so if I want to do a subscript, if you just try to type it in your keyboard, it comes out with a underscore, and that's not very good notation in Maple. So to get the subscript, if you go back over here to the expression palette, you can make it look a lot nicer. Okay, so far so good. So let me create a little bit of space here for us. I'll get back with a 16 font. And our equation so far is e to the natural log of p. So that's just going to be p as a function of h. We can clarify that. On the right-hand side, we have our P naught. I'll just copy paste that and make it a little bit larger. Times e to the kh. Okay, so there's our equation. We have solved for p as a function of h. Now, we do have some information up here that we can use. So I'm just going to copy paste that down here so that we feed that in and start to solve for some of these constants. So the first constant I'm going to work with here is the initial value when h equals 0. So let's write that down. When h equals 0, p is 1013. So let's put that value in. We know that e to the 0 is just 1, and so this equation actually simplifies to 1013 equals p naught. So this is quite good because now we have solved for one of our constants. So let's put that in right here. The next value we can work with is when h is 20, p equals 90 millibars. So let's put that in. Okay, to save a bit of time, I have typed in the next condition we have, and I've used the evalf command in math mode to come up with an approximation for our k value. To plot in Maple, I recommend watching one of my earlier tutorials on plotting. If you've already done that, we'll hop right to the specific plot with our exponential function. So I will type in plot 1013 times e to the negative 0.12 times h. Okay, couple of things to notice. Be sure to use the common symbol for your base e. If you just type in the e from your keyboard, let me just show you what happens. Maple will complain. And so to get rid of that, you have to go over here and use the common symbol e for that transcendental value. The next thing is that this plot isn't very good because we don't care about negative values for h. We just want to plot from h equals 0 maybe up to h equals 50, and so we can put some conditions on our plot. If you put a comma, h equals 0 dot dot 50. And you can also put in a limits for your vertical axis. Let's click on the plot, choose axis, labels, and I'm going to edit my x. And I'm down here on the horizontal x-axis, and that h value looks great. I'm just going to denote that the units there were kilometers. And I'm going to right-click again and choose labels, edit y. And this is going to be p, and we can put in parentheses millibars. My plot got a little bit squished up, so I can choose the right corner there with my cursor and drag it out a little bit.